All right, welcome to Propaganda fam. Want to talk real quick. If you're looking to do something about propaganda for your World War One artifact, we need to look at what the definition of propaganda is. It is information spread to further a particular cause or damage an opposing cause. So you're either trying to convince people to think like you, or you're trying to get people to oppose something else, and that's really information to influence what people believe in. Okay, it is kind of like advertising a little bit because the message is carefully controlled and managed, but propaganda is like advertising on steroids, and it's usually not you're not selling a product like advertising. You're selling an idea, and sometimes those ideas can be pretty harsh. So here's a little thing, and we only have an activity for you to do. We used to do this all in class, but since you're doing this on your own, what we're going to look at some propaganda posters from World War One, and we want to kind of figure out like what was the purpose, and then look at the tools or strategies used by the posters to help reach that purpose. And here's some posters from 4 different countries in World War One. Versus the tools. Here are the 8 there propaganda tools. The first one is demonization, where you're trying to make the enemy look like the devil or make them evil. Number 2 is emotional appeals, where you're going to try to kind of touch people's emotions to get them to do what you want. Name calling for the enemy is a tool of the propaganda. Patriotic appeals is something else. You'll see a lot of posters that have flags and symbols that represent our country in them, and that's to appeal to everyone's good Americanness, I guess. Half-truths or lies are another tool where you can take something and blow it out of proportion, or just completely make something up. And kind of that whole debate today about fake news. This would be similar to that. A catchy slogan can sometimes be used in a propaganda poster. It might be hard to do, but that is kind of like advertising. Evocative visual symbols, and that's symbols to appeal to people's emotions. And evocative means just it evokes some sort of feeling in your brain when you see it. So oftentimes, like babies are used, or cute animals, puppies. Often, people like those. Those are evocative visual symbols. Things like that. Moms or grandmas often do the same thing. And then lastly, humor or caricatures, where you're making the enemy out to be the butt of the joke, is a propaganda tool. So those are your tools that you'll want to use as you create your poster. Okay, let's look at a few here. Here is a propaganda poster. This is United States. And they're trying to convince people to buy Liberty bonds to help finance the war. And if you look at it, you can see that that's a poster of the Statue of Liberty, basically, but her head's been blown off. It's actually, if you can blow up the poster, it's laying in the water off to the right of the island. You can see German planes overhead. There's a U-boat in the water. New York City is basically burning in the background. So, they use different tools in this poster, like evocative symbols of fire and patriotic symbols of Statue of Liberty, to kind of get you to want to donate money or to buy victory loans, Liberty loans, to help finance the war, so this doesn't happen to the United States, so that we don't suffer an attack from Germany. So that's a good example there. Let's look at a few others. Here's another one. This is actually British. And it says for home and country, and you can see there's a British soldier, and he's hugging, looks like, I don't know if that's his wife or his mother, but it's one of those. And then a little boy is, arms wrapped around his neck, and I don't know if that's his little brother or his son, but either way, it's a strong symbol of family. Right above the words victory, liberty, loan is red, white, and blue, which are the colors. The soldier's wearing a lanyard, and around that, in that lanyard, is a German helmet, as if it's a war medal. So that's another, kind of symbol to get people to do what they want. But this is really a poster to convince British folks to support their victory, liberty, loan, which is their way of paying for the war. Here's another poster. You can look at it. This is from the United States. There's a newspaper on the ground that says Huns kill women and children, ! And the word Huns was a derogatory term for Germans, so that's a tool right there. You can see this guy's ripping his coat off as if he's angry, and the look on his face is such that looks like he's ready to throw his coat down and start fighting right away. And the caption is "Tell that to the Marines," and then, oh, by the way, just so you know, it's at 24 East 23rd Street. So this is where you can go and sign up for the Marines in World War I in New York City, or at least one of the places. So that's a poster. Again, trying to get people to do something. In this one is a recruitment poster for the United States. Here's the next one. This is actually from Germany. I don't speak German, so I'm not sure what it says there, but you can see it's an iron armored fist. You can see by the colors used in the words, and by the shape of the poster, not poster of the fist, with the spikes and everything on it. That's pretty harsh. That's a pretty harsh statement right there. So that just shows a couple different ways you could go about drawing or representing your things in a poster. Here's another poster from the United States, and this is War Gardens over the top. So if you look at it, it's kind of funny, but it's also pretty cool. Here's the vegetables coming out of a trench going over the top. They're going to run across no man's land and fight the Germans. And the woman with the hoe and the flag behind them, she's like the leader, I suppose. But this is the idea that vegetables are fighting the war because they want us to grow our own fruits and vegetables so we can eat them, so we can send our food overseas to help feed the soldiers and feed those people that are starving in Belgium, and this way they're trying to convince Americans to plant victory gardens. Here's one from France. This is an example of French money, and really the rooster on the French money, which is one of their national symbols, attacking a German soldier. And the words, again, I don't speak French, but it is basically saying, like, this is your choice. You can defeat the Germans if you buy Liberty loans, or their version of it, to help pay for the war. They need money to support the war effort, and the money will be what actually defeats Germany. And here's really our last one to look at. This is actually, surprisingly, a United States propaganda poster. It shows the devil wearing a German helmet, and off to the side, off to the right of the devil or the German, is Über alles, which means overall. And the devil is sitting on a pile of skulls. So, the idea here is that the Germans are evil, and they're sitting upon the skulls of all those that have died in World War I. And their motto is overall. And Hitler will actually pick up that motto in World War II, Deutschland über alles, which is Germany overall. But it's the same deal. This is nationalism, and this nationalism run amok in this poster. And this is the United States trying to convince German-speaking Americans that the war is worthwhile to defeat Germany because the Kaiser is the evil one. Okay, now it's your turn. So what you want to do with your propaganda poster is determine what message is it you're trying to convey. What's the purpose? Why do you want people to act a certain way? And then figure out what tools you want to use. Use at least 3 of them. You can go back in this video to watch those 3 or look for those propagandas. I'd use at least 3. It should be easy to come up with 3 or more. And then what medium are you going to use? You can use Google Draw. You can use Microsoft Publisher. You can get some old-fashioned paper and colored pencils and create your own that way, whatever. But it should be pretty fun. Hopefully you've got a good message, and that's something you create. As always, if you have questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.